So I've been sitting on the PDF of the Bulge German book for a week or two now, wondering the best way to tackle a review. I'm not a German player. There are lots more knowledgeable people to talk to you about the ins and outs of various German Bulge lists. Then I realised, I'm a history and kit review guy. I should stick to what I know. So in this video, let's look at what products are being released in the Bulge German release wave. Part 2 will be talking about how history shaped the various German lists in the book. I'm going to tackle the history aspect in a live stream on June 3rd. The table-ready crew of Adam from Dice of War and Christian from Painting Panzers will be joining me, and we'll also be talking about our top 3 picks for the German Bulge release. Livestream date and time details are on the Fog of War Facebook page. I think it would be fair to say there's been some anticipation around the new Bulge German release wave for Flames of War. Production issues in the current environment have forced the release to be delayed quite a few times. But it's finally coming. Bulge German will release on June 6. If we look at the Battlefront schedule on the website, releases kick off with the Bulge German book. This is a full-colour 264-page hardback book. It needs to be a big book. There are a lot of lists and equipment in there for late war Germans, but more about that in a minute. To go along with the book, there's the new late war German starter force box set, the Heavy Tank-Hunter Kampfgruppe. The core of this box set is Jagdpanthers. You get 3 of these. There's also some Ostwind for AA, a Panzer IV Tank Platoon, an Armoured Volksgrenadier platoon with half-tracks, and a pair of Puma 5cm armoured cars. So far, these vehicles are all existing kits, even the Jagdpanther. The new plastic in this box are a pair of Hornisse 8.8cm tank hunters and 3 Hummel 15cm SP guns. All up, that's 19 vehicles and 7 infantry teams. You also get the standard starter box inclusions like the A5 version 4 rulebook, a German Start Here guide, decal sheets and 10 unit cards. I actually think this is a good starter box. You get a nice mix of tanks, tank hunters, infantry, artillery and even AA. There's lots of variety here and lots of room to expand. These are always great value. What you don't get are any Tiger IIs or Jagdtigers. In fact, there's nothing with Tiger in its name in the rest of the June 6 releases, or the second wave scheduled for June 25th. The remaining June 6 releases are the Unit Card and Command Card packs and the Fallschirmjager, Iron Cross and Waffen-SS gaming sets. The gaming sets have 20 themed tokens, 2 objective markers and 16 dice. The second wave is out on June 25th and is headed up by infantry releases. These are the plastic Volksgrenadier Assault Platoon, the Volksgrenadier 7.5cm Gun Platoon, and the Fallschirmjager Assault Rifle Platoon. Volksgrenadiers were late war German infantry formations, generally inexperienced troops formed around a core of veteran officers and NCOs. These new divisions compensated for Germany's manpower shortages by using the greater firepower of automatic weapons like assault rifles and machine guns. These infantry sets are late war troops armed with STG-44 assault rifles. The figures are plastic. It looks like Battlefront's thermoplastic material. There was some talk of Battlefront re-releasing the metal Winter Volksgrenadier figures, but there's no sign of them on the schedule. The Volksgrenadier platoon box has enough figures for a formation command team, a unit leader team, 6 STG-44 and MG-42 teams, and 2 Panzerschreck anti-tank teams. Volksgrenadiers get their own artillery support option. The Volksgrenadier 7.5cm gun platoon box contains 2 short-barrel 7.5cm guns, mounted on what looks like a 5cm anti-tank gun chassis. My best guess is this is the 7.5cm Pak 50, a short-barrel Pak 40 on a Pak 38 chassis. This was only built in very limited numbers, and despite the Pak designation was a dual-purpose gun. You could use them in the anti-tank or artillery role. The kit looks like resin and metal. The guns are support options for Volksgrenadiers, and also available to Panzergrenadier formations as well. There's a more elite infantry option in the Fallschirmjager Assault Rifle Platoon. German paratroops dropped in advance of the German armoured columns to seize towns and bridges. The Fallschirmjager figures are also moulded in thermoplastic and are armed with STG-44s. Their helmets are the distinctive M38 paratroop helmet and liner. The box set gives you enough figures to make a unit leader team, 6 assault rifle teams, and 2 Panzerschreck teams. Fallschirmjagers are aggressive and fearless, but their skill rating is green. These elite formations had been mauled in Normandy, and at this stage of the war included large numbers of replacements. Plus, some of the units were specially formed for the operation by taking troops from other Fallschirmjager units. Naturally, the donating units took the opportunity to volunteer troublemakers, the lazy and the lame. Interestingly, the Tiger II company lets you take a Fallschirmjager platoon in place of one of the Tiger II platoons. I'd be tempted to do that. This wave includes an aircraft as well, the Messerschmitt Me-262 fighter bomber flight. This box contains 2 Sturmvogel resin and metal jet fighter bombers and a decal sheet. It's interesting this is a resin kit and not plastic. After all, Revell do make a 1/44 scale plastic Me-262 kit, but resin and metal it is. Weapons are a choice of 30mm cannon or 500kg bombs. The Me-262 gets a 4-up save and is hit on a 6. I guess it's hard to hit a fast-moving jet aircraft with World War II era AA weapons. I think people are really going to be waiting for the third wave on July 9th. This is when the Tiger II Tank Platoon, Jagdtiger Tank-Hunter Platoon and Armoured Flak Platoon boxes are released. The Tiger II Tank Platoon box contains 3 new plastic Tiger II kits and a decal sheet. Sprue images are shown on the listing on Battlefront's online store. You can see the turret on this kit is the standard production version, not the more rounded initial design. The slab-sided version of the turret was simpler and cheaper for German industry to manufacture. There's no Zimmerit moulded on this kit. The turret and hull sides are smooth. Zimmerit was an anti-magnetic mine paste applied to German tanks. Its use was being discontinued at this stage of the war. Tiger II will be a handful for Allied players to deal with. Front armour is 16 and the 8.8cm gun has an anti-tank of 17. But if that armour and gun penetration still isn't enough for you, there's the Jagdtiger. This is the tank hunter variant of the Tiger II chassis mounting a 12.8cm gun in an armoured casemate. The Jagdtiger Tank-Hunter Platoon box contains 3 Jagdtigers and a decal sheet. These are designed as long-range anti-armour tank killers. Their armour protection is even more than the Tiger II, and the gun has an AT of 18, but at least they're slow firing, so opponents will have to try and keep them on the move. Unless you bring a Team Yankee force to the table against Jagdtiger, you're going to need to work for flank shots. The Tiger II and Jagdtiger are going to be bonkers on the table, but I'm really looking forward to building and reviewing these new plastic kits. Rounding out this wave is the Armoured Flak Platoon. This box set contains 3 plastic SDKFZ 251 half-track kits, which can be built with either a 2cm or triple 15mm AA gun mount. These guns were dual-purpose mounts, able to keep enemy fighter bombers off the friendly troops as well as providing fire support by engaging ground targets. There's a sprue shot of this kit on the website as well. Interestingly, it's an entirely new kit, not just an upgrade sprue for an existing plastic half-track kit. As well as the 2cm and the triple 15mm AA mountings, there's also a pack 47.5cm gun on here. The set includes a decal sheet with markings for the 17th and 116th Panzer Divisions, as well as the Hermann Göring Panzer Division. The final wave of Bulge German releases Battlefront have announced is due on July 23rd. Battlefront's late plastic Panther makes a return. This plastic kit hails from version 3 and can build the Panther G or the Jagd Panther. Despite its age, this is a great kit. I've built several of these myself. The box set gives you 5 late Panther tanks or Jagd Panthers and a decal sheet. The Hornisse Tank-Hunter Platoon box is a brand new plastic kit. This kit can build either the 8.8cm armed Hornisse Tank-Hunter or the 5cm Hummel SP gun. Hornisse is a tank hunter based on a Panzer IV chassis that mounts an 8.8cm gun in an open-topped casemate. It doesn't have a lot of armour, so you're going to need to fire it from cover and shoot and scoot to keep out of trouble. But the AT of 17 gives Hornisse the same firepower as a Tiger II or Jagd Panther. The Hummel uses the same chassis but mounts a 15cm artillery piece to make a self-propelled gun. The Hornisse Tank-Hunter Platoon box gives you 4 kits and a decal sheet. Grille gives Germans even more SP gun options. This is a 15cm artillery gun mounted on a Panzer 38M chassis. There have been versions of Grille available before, but this is the late war variant. The Grille K, I believe, but don't quote me on that. This is not a plastic kit, it's resin and metal. You get 2 of these in the box. As well as artillery, these have a powerful secondary direct fire roll. In this roll, the gun is brutal with an auto firepower. The very last release on the list here is the Sturmtiger Assault Howitzer Platoon. Sturmtiger, if you're not familiar, is a bonkers design based on the Tiger I chassis. It fires a massive 38cm rocket projectile developed from a naval anti-submarine weapon. The rounds are so massive they need to be loaded via a crane arm permanently mounted to the casemate. This is not a plastic kit either, it's resin and metal. Sturmtiger gets to take advantage of several special rules in the game. Of course, the rockets are brutal, but Bunker Buster means they can target bunkers and nests despite being an artillery barrage. The rocket artillery special rule means Sturmtiger doesn't have to re-roll hits for having only 1 or 2 guns firing the bombardment. Sturmtiger came late to the Battle of the Bulge, only arriving in late January. I'm not looking forward to facing these on the table. I don't know if they'll be effective, but they'll certainly hold an opponent's attention. So those are the product releases planned for the Bulge German forces for late war Flames of War. The Bulge releases advance the game's timeline beyond the Allied breakout of August through Market Garden in September and on to the Battle of the Bulge in December 44 to February 45. The Bulge British book due out probably early next year is the last book planned to cover this period in the West. There is a Berlin book planned to take German forces and probably Soviets through to the end of the war. Bulge German is a big book. It had to be. There are so many different German formations and so much new late war equipment coming online for them that just needed to be covered. A lot of players will be focused on the heavy German tanks and tank destroyers in this release, like the Tiger II and Jagdtiger. German players are spoiled for choice for high AT units, both with and without armour. Certainly these will be a handful on the table. But I must say I'm actually more excited for things like the Volksgrenadiers and Jagdpanthers. If I was building a Bulge German list, that's what I'd be looking at. But as a reviewer, I want to build the Tiger II. Anyway, I hope this video has given you a taste of what's coming in Battlefront's release schedule. What are you excited for? Let us know in the comments. Thanks to Battlefront for supplying the Bulge German PDF for me to have a look at. Their support of the channel is really appreciated. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.